you. Let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa, from South America. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it.
What's the solution?
Yeah, so I think I think it's to essentially, I think one of the solutions that seems maybe the best one is to have an AI layer. If you think of like you've got your limbic system, your cortex, and then a digital layer, sort of a third layer above the cortex, that could work well and symbiotically with you. I mean, just as your cortex works symbiotically with your limbic system, your sort of a third digital layer could work symbiotically with the rest.
This is something that's surgically inserted or bred into the species, or what?
The fundamental limitation is input-output. So we already have, we're already a cyborg. It's just that, I mean, you have a digital version of yourself or partial version of yourself online in the form of your emails and your social media and all the things that you do.
Productive meeting. I also spoke with our nation's governors. And this afternoon, we're announcing new guidelines for every American to follow over the next 15 days as we combat the virus. Each and every one of us has a critical role.
We forget.
What I forced them to do, a warrant for me for another 4 years because FDA warrant for me. You wouldn't have a vaccine if a warrant for me. Vaccine if a warrant for me. You wouldn't have. I am thrilled to report that the FDA has authorized the Pfizer vaccine. We're way ahead on vaccines. You wouldn't have a vaccine if it weren't for me. You wouldn't have a vaccine if it weren't for me for another 4 years because FDA would have never been able to do what they did, what I forced them to do.
You're looking at video of Sandra Lindsay, an intensive care nurse receiving the first vaccination at Long Island Jewish Medical Center in New York.
The U.S. began vaccinating the population against the coronavirus in December of 2020. The goal is to get the COVID vaccine to every person in the U.S. who wants one, but survey data shows that nearly 40% of the U.S. population doesn't want it. Widespread mistrust might have something to do with the fact that if anything goes wrong with the vaccine, the drug makers that produce them aren't responsible.
This is a remarkable circumstance. It's certainly not like anything anybody's ever seen before.
That means that companies like Pfizer and Moderna have total immunity against lawsuits related to injuries resulting from taking the COVID vaccines. Meanwhile, employers are legally allowed to require employees to get immunized against the virus.
Requiring a vaccine is a health and safety work rule, and employers can do that.
Ultimately, if we want any chance at returning to life as normal, mass vaccination is going to be critical. So how do you convince the public to take a vaccine made in record time using technology that's never before been licensed?
We are delivering millions of doses of a safe and effective vaccine. Safe and effective vaccine.
Let's go! Woo! Yeah, let's go, baby! Let's go! Hey! Woo! Hey! 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 God bless America!